got it done right here. And when you switch it on, so there it is. I got it on a big mounting board right here, so it has some counterweight there to it, and screwed down, 4 screws in it. And you put your pan right down here. All that coconut that's flying around shredding and hit this pan, fall down, and it'll go in the pan right below right there. So there it is, and maybe we'll get the guys to give it a try tomorrow and see how it works out. Got Miller here trying to learn a technique. Put some gloves on him though, in case he messes up first time, gets his skin. I told him, don't make it red. First one he tried, he ground it all the way to the side the first time. He just learned the technique, so I said just keep practicing. Then the next one he got it pretty darn good right there, man. It looks really good. So moving on again, he'll learn technique. And if you get it down low enough, he don't have to have nobody there holding a pail or nothing either. He could have the tub right below it. Go ahead and wipe that down in there, Angel. Here, watch your hand. Don't bump your hand up there. Never raise your hand up and bump. Okay. There you go. There you learn it. I was telling Miller and Angel here the reason I wanted to have this is the hand tool like this. It's okay if we're just occasionally doing a dish and they sit down in a chair and they put this here and they sit and they scrape that, and that's it. That's all right for an occasional dish. But when we plan on having more, and Melinda wants a little cantina here and everything, we need it to be a little bit more efficient, and we can grind those in advance and store coconut juice, or even just store the ground up coconut right there, and then she can render from it later. Like she can put it in the freezer, or even for doing them fresh, even right that spot. This is a really long, slow process right here, but that's much faster right there. Somebody can get some ground out. So that was pretty easy then.
Yeah.
How long do you think it would have took you to make that right there with this tool?
Maybe 20 minutes.
For for 2 of them?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we did that right there in like about 5 minutes.
5 minutes only, yeah.
Or less, because you're learning. Next time it'll be super fast. Yeah. Yeah, if we use it more often. Good. We're continuing working in here in the garage right now. And we're doing what I said on this cabinet, putting in some shelves inside of it.
Yeah.
for me, I have been organizing my toolbox. So from some work we had done in the past, I had some scraps of this aluminum right here. It's like a window screen track for aluminum windows, and I had this left over. And I've used it on some other things. In fact, I used a piece of this to repair that sliding door on the cabin down on the bottom and to be able to put a new track on. So now I cut this and used it like a divider, like a mullion for right here in my toolbox, because all of these bits are always getting jumbled up and mixed up, and the Allens and everything, because as you slide the drawer, everything shuffles, the mat slides, everything gets pushed, especially if these guys take this heavy drawer and they just slam it shut really fast, everything goes flying. And there's a lot of ways people can organize their toolboxes and all that, but I like all my stuff where I can put it underneath lock and key right here when I'm done. I don't want a bunch of stuff sitting out. And so it's got my masonry bits, it got my wood bits, it got my chuck keys and wrenches for the grinders, for the drills, Allen wrenches. And I tell you, I don't keep no fancy sets here or anything. It's just invites aggravation, because maybe the level that we like to take care of our stuff and it's your own stuff, maybe back in the West where you really want to keep nice tools and organized, you will find yourself highly aggravated here. Tools being lost, broken, left laying out, sets, just broken up. You're so happy to have a brand new set of something, and then the pieces start fading away. So I just use mix-up mashups here. Just mix-up mashups. And I did get some drill bits, though, from friend Vince back in Texas. He brought me some nice drill bits before, and they have come out to be really handy. I appreciate that again, man. So anyway, that's what I'm doing, is I'm just trying to organize and going through even up here in my trays, and better organizing all my stuff in here as well, which they got this tray out right now using some screws.
So hello again everyone, good afternoon. So I'm here right now preparing one of our room here, yes, I'm here right now preparing because tomorrow we have guests. So they're gonna stay here for 5 days. So before the guests come, I make it sure that everything was prepared. So that's why I always double check. So like tomorrow, I'm going to plug this refrigerator already. Once they come, all the beverage, all the drinks are ready. And I have a few snacks here. So the reason that I put this one here because like our town was not that far away here, like if you want to go groceries, not that far away, but like so from to those our guests that they don't have any vehicle, so it is really convenient for them, so I just put some of the snack here, like some nuts, like these cup noodles. Some are like cup noodles. And like for me, like James told me that just don't add decoration. But for me, I just only add just even just a little. That's something, the room was not so boring. And of course, we are here on the beach, and we like to put some decoration that's something relate to the beach. So this room is only a queen size bed. Yes, a queen size bedroom. We put some boiling pot, and there's also included, some coffee and some coffee mate and some tea. So the reason it is so many because they book for 5 days. So, I always add a little bit extra for this. And, we don't have any put individual sugar, but I add some of it here. So if they want more, I can always refill on that. And also this water bottle is, I make it sure that it is full. And we also refill this, like, so to those, I mean, if we have a guest, they don't need to buy a water already because we already provide it. And it's not that really expensive to refill this bottle. So we are here in the another room. So this is the king size bedroom, and it is a pretty good size area. And compared to the queen room, they don't have any cabinet and this chair. But this one is a pretty good size. So guess or not, we need to clean this one, to check. It make it sure that it's everything is really in the perfect condition. Once if they have a guest gonna walk in or check in, it's presentable to show, the room. I'm gonna pick some red hot chili here, and I'm gonna give to the chicken. I'm gonna feed this one to the chicken. They said it's really good for the chicken. So I only watch this one on the TV, but I'm gonna try it myself personally. So, siling labuyo. I have more here. More chili to harvest. Actually, they have more here. Other day, I think some of the boys are get some of it to put in the vinegar. Soon I can harvest a lot of papaya. I try if they're gonna like it. I don't know, seems like they don't like it.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning here from the Philippines. Hanging out in the garage, which is where I stayed last night for a pretty good while. I've had total chaos and mayhem going in here. You can see the floor is just covered in stuff right now. Everywhere. Cleaning, throwing away, giving away a lot of stuff. And trying to get where there's nothing left on the floor in this garage. I want shelves all up. And I'm trying to go through what needs to get used up on the house that was bought for the house or was bought for this truck, and get it on it. Just get it on it. Get it over with. Get it out of the way. So that's what's happening there. And I'm really digging this. Really liking my shelf up here. I've got a shelf I can have my helmets, including we have a couple bicycle helmets there as well. I've got my boots, different camping gear, fishing gear, snorkeling gear, all my stuff lined up right there in different crates and all. Really happy with that. Just clearing out. We painted that wall when we had everything down. Now this wall, before the day's over, I'm gonna get it painted also. Move a little bit of this stuff out of the floor out of the way and get that done. Really loving the little shelf and stuff up over here. Really loving getting this shelf up here that I've got all my trays now up here where I can see through them. And the nice thing is that windows behind them, so I get light through the trays, which backlights all of my stuff where I can see what's going on there. So that's nice. Another thing is I've had this projector here for years. That's a HD Epson projector, and let me tell you about it. So before I ever knew Melinda, I was dating this girl that was actually once I can't really say a classmate, a schoolmate, because she was a few years behind me in school, a couple years behind me in school. But we're in a small town, everybody knows each other and all. And of course, I've been through marriage for years. She'd been through a marriage for years, different things, you know. And so at one point in time, we reconnected and we were dating. She's a very successful woman. She was an accountant over a big accounting firm that handled cases or handled clients or owned for Palm Harbor Homes and some other things, all I guess tied back with Warren Buffett. And she was like a lead accountant, man. She had a lot of accountants underneath her in a huge building over in Las Colinas in Dallas. And she built this brand new high-end home in an exclusive neighborhood. And so we were seeing each other, and when she was getting some stuff, I guess, moved from her existing house or whatever, her projector for like a theater room that they were doing, it wasn't working. So I guess she took the one from the house that she had and it was getting moved into the new home, and it wasn't working. And the installers told her that, you know, it's a bad unit, blah blah blah, and they sold her a brand new unit, and they were pretty pricey at the time. So she bought a brand new unit, and I saw that sitting there, and I said, what are you going to do with that? And she goes, I don't know. It was working fine when it was in my house. Took it out, and they said it was no good now. It was fine when I took it down. So I had to take care of Mop for a second. He needed something from me. So she gave it to me, and I took it home and plugged it up, and it came on. And I set it on my pool table back in my game room, and it came on, and it's projecting over on the wall. And sure enough, in just a little bit, it went off. And I said, man, that thing overheated. So I had been around this stuff already before, and I knew that there's a cover and a filter in there, and there's a fan that blows, and there's a really hot light bulb in there. And it's kind of like for like that digital light projection, you know, like deep, what's that called, that digital DLP. So I said, shoot, I bet that filter's dirty. Pulled it out, cleaned the filter, put it back in it, and I've been using it ever since, and I've had it for years now. Yeah, because I've been married to Melinda for 10 years, and so that was probably maybe 12, 13 years ago, you know. Wow, time flies by. 12, 13 years ago. And so anyway, I sent it over here in a ballot buying box, and we really didn't make any use of it because it kind of needs to be in a dark place. I tried to use it a couple times. It needs to be in a dark place. Any light just blows it out. That's why they build those theater rooms with no windows and dark walls, and so there's no glares, and they'll make it like that. So it's been just sitting up here on a shelf, and I said, you know what, that wall right there is cool to project on. And the garage here, I can close the front door and close these back doors, and control the lighting. And so last night I hooked it up in there. Man, it was so awesome. The image was just stellar clear, even without that being like a screen. And it was just so awesome, man. So I hung it upside down here so I can see all the menus over my head right here. And then boom, I've got an image right there. And I just think it'd be cool, you know, sometimes I like to just come down here and hang out in the garage. Actually, I hang out in the garage a lot. So, you know, it's kind of silly, but I have the stuff just sitting around. So I'll set the Xbox One in here. I have a little sound bar that came with a TV that we had bought, and they just included a sound bar, and we didn't want a loud sound bar in a guest room. One guest disturbing another guest or anything. So I'll use that little sound bar here. I'll set that Xbox right here, and same time I can play apps, man. I mean, like or play games. I'm not a big gamer. I grew up in the gaming world. My father under many hats that he wore, like I've wore many hats. My father too wore many hats, and he was big, big in that vending business. He got in at ground floor right when games hit so big. You know, they hit like in the late 70s really big with, you know, like Pac-Man and all that stuff, and Galaxian, which later became Galaga and all that. So he hit it right when those games were still going, and then like Miss Pac-Man came along and Galaga came along and Tempest and Robotron and, you know, all of them, man. I mean, all of them. Tron. That Tron game was badass. Robotron also. There's another Tron. Robotron. And I mean, we can name games forever. There's a jillion of them. Dig Dug, all those Atari games and stuff. So I grew up with games. My dad was Mr. Arcade Man. You know, he called them Hightower's Family Fun Center, and he had that. Then he got into pool tables and stuff, which later he closed those out and became just a vendor only, putting stuff in other people's places, and VFWs and AMVETs and bars and laundromats and everything. So I have a big history with gaming, but I have never been an online gamer. I don't care nothing about it. And I kind of got burnt out on the whole game scene. You know, it's like you don't want to work on cars all day as a mechanic and then go home and that's the only thing you do again is work on cars as a mechanic. I got burned out on it. It was just like that's all we dealt with is games and working on them. And through the actual need to know, I started learning how to work on those boards and all in those games, electronics, doing upgrades, changing ROMs, soldering, repairs, changing out capacitors. I ended up saving my father a lot of money by me learning how to do a lot of that, and then we could do it in-house and not have to pay those repair technicians. Just give me a little backstory right there. One of my many hats, yeah. And so anyway, I do like games like the old school Gran Turismo and stuff like that. It's fun. I've got a little bit of that stuff. I thought, you know, it'd be fun every once in a while, just come down here away from everybody. I'll sit with the kids, play a couple games or something, you know. I think it'd be pretty cool. Well, it's been really enjoyable spending time just cleaning up my garage and organizing. Man, it's so cool. And got that projector up there. I just wanted you all to see it, man. That's our little logo we use on our channel. But check that out right there. Isn't that cool? Man, I'm going to be happy, boy. So nice to have a cleaned up garage. So I'm thinking tomorrow that I'm probably gonna get some paint and have those guys to paint that door